Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your October 2021 reading. So I'm going to be doing a 3-card spread for you today. The first position will indicate your most recent past, followed by your present and potential future outcome. I'm going to be using the Light Seer's Tarot for this spread and clarifying with the Wild Unknown Animal Tarot, or Wild Unknown Animal Spirit, excuse me. I do not know all of these cards yet. I haven't been working with them long enough, so I may need to check the guidebook for some of the cards, and I'm going to ask you for your patience if I need to do that. All right, Aquarius, let's jump right in and see what October has in store for you. Please, universe, spirits, guides, angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what can you tell me about Aquarius's most recent past, please? Thank you. King of Cups. Okay. So this is somebody who's pretty, emotionally stable. I don't know why, but for some reason, I think some of you maybe had a love offer come in or a commitment for some reason. I don't know. That might be for somebody very specific. But yeah, we'll get more on that when we get clarifiers. I like to dive deeper into them as, once we get everything out. So what can you tell me, please, about Aquarius's present for October 2021? What's going on for Aquarius presently for October 2021? Thank you. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So this is somebody who's, stable in their finances, but also very generous as well. Okay. The energy is really good, Aquarius. That's some pretty strong energy, right? Having this King of Cups who's very emotionally stable, and then the Queen of Pentacles who's very stable as well. Fascinating. Okay, so what is the potential outcome for Aquarius, please? What is the potential outcome for Aquarius? That is too many cards. What is the potential outcome for Aquarius? Thank you. We have here the Star card, which is wishes fulfilled, wishes granted. Okay. The bottom of the deck is the Justice card. Okay, which Justice, I'm not going to put that, yeah, I'm going to put that right there. Justice talks about karmic balance, natural law. Okay, so that's the bottom of the deck, or what is beneath the surface. So what is hidden, unexpected. And then our clarifiers, why the King of Cups in Aquarius's most recent past, please. Why the King of Cups? No. Excuse me. Why the King of Cups, please? Okay. The Eagle. Clarifying the King of Cups. Yeah, I'm just going to get the cards out before I dive deeper. Why the King of Pentacles for Aquarius in the present for October 2021, please? Thank you. Lizard. Okay. And why the Star for the potential outcome, please? Thank you. The Fish. And the bottom of the deck is the Oyster. All right, Aquarius. Let's talk about this most recent past energy. I'm going to pull up the Eagle card. Some of these I've had experience with recently. They've come up in some of my readings. But I haven't seen them enough to kind of have it down by heart yet. So just give me a moment, please. These pages like to stick together too, so can make for a little bit of a challenge. All right, so I want to talk about the eagle first, because the cards here as our clarifiers are letting us know why the cards have come out in the position that they have for the tarot. So let's talk about this eagle. The eagle is a representation of all-pervading power, a truth seeker, and, talks about transforming power, or transforming karma, excuse me. So this says here, the noble eagle emanates the light of the sun. This great bird is both physically and spiritually strong and represents mastery over the elements of fire and air. When the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp the sun in your talons and hopefully you can see that the whole time. There's kind of a glare. Grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. Okay. So, this tells me that the King of Cups is here because we've undergone this transformation, right? Because it is in the position of the most recent past, which means this has already taken place, right? So, with it being there, that tells me we've gone through this transformation, perhaps, something karmic even. We may have completed a cycle, which actually has come up in my membership readings a lot. Transformation has been the highlight, which makes sense, right? We have retrogrades going on right now as far as astrology is concerned, and the collective is going through quite the transformation. So, the King of Cups does talk about again, that emotional intelligence and then stability and balance, right? Being a wise leader who's nurturing and supportive, creative, patient, right? Has experience. This is a card of love as well. And, also patience. And I feel like that in your most recent past, Aquarius, you may have or went through some things that it could have actually shown you your karma, right? I don't know if that's good or bad. I guess that would depend on you. But, I kind of get this feeling that you may have went through something that really kind of showed you your own karma and perhaps caused you or led you to being more emotionally intelligent, right? Really being more aware of your emotional influence on other people. That's really interesting because I haven't ever really thought of this card being that way. But I feel like you've undergone this experience and now have come to this space of, I feel like it's your truth, stepping more into your truth, your emotional truth. Thank you. That's pretty deep. That's pretty deep. And I get that feeling like you may have experienced through this transformation your emotional truth, which I think, likely left you feeling much more empowered, left you feeling much more confident, left you feeling much wiser, right? I feel like it's, how do I word this? It's like I've been through some, I've been through some things, and I've seen myself be a certain way, and I no longer want that, right? It's like choosing to lead with the wisdom of your heart, to lead with the wisdom, and your heart is like, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit. Your heart is very powerful, very, very powerful, in the sense of, leading with that, leading with love, right? I mean, that's being very intentional with your movement. But I feel like if you have come to this space recently, and have this deeper connection to self, that's how I feel, this deeper connection to truth, this deeper um and like this deeper wisdom of your emotional intelligence, like understanding your depth, right? I feel like the eagle, is a very good clarifier. And I feel like that would make a lot of sense moving over to the present, which is that Queen of Pentacles, who is also very stable, right? I feel like the King of Pentacles in the most recent past, or the King of Cups, excuse me, in the most recent past, just kind of, I don't want to say the tipping point. Those are the words that I'm hearing, but that I don't feel like that accurately describes what I'm getting at. I feel like it was just the beginning, like it was the just scratching the surface. Thank you. That is what I was looking for. Like just scratching the surface of the recognition of self, right? Like understanding your truth, your power. I feel like it was just the beginning, because that Queen of Pentacles is again, is stable in the sense of, they're kind of like a self-made person, right? They're abundant and have this like material wealth and strength and family and community, and are very grounded and down to earth and are nurturing, and is that it's being more connected with other people in a very, what in a very almost like parental kind of way. But that's not to say that the relationships I'm talking about are, ones of a parental nature, but I just feel like that it's that connection, that deepening is almost, it's like, I want to make sure I'm taking care of people. I want to make sure that I'm, um, sharing my abundance and wealth and things like this, which may not have been the case previously. I get the feeling that in the past, Aquarius, you may have been very shut down, very blocked, very, I see almost like a stick figure being put into a box, and it's like your own doing, like, not really going even, it's like not going deep even for yourself, let alone other people, like not even getting deep with yourself. So there's no way you'd be deep with others. And I feel like with the most recent past and whatever happened, whether that was like something karmic that happened to you that maybe you did to somebody else and you're like, well, shit, that sucked, or what have you, I don't know. But I feel like whatever that experience was that really showed you the depth of who you are, showed you your truth, showed you, um, yeah, I feel like whatever that was, that kind of pushed you to this new space of like, I don't want to be shut down anymore. I don't want to be so closed off. Like, I want to be able to take care of others. And it's like not being able to ignore that depth and not being able to just be deep with yourself, but to be deep with other people. This lizard here, which is clarifying that Queen of Pentacles, is instinctual, sensitive to the subtle, and a dreamer. The lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception. As if it has a sixth sense, the lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights and big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. So what I'm picking up here is that this lizard energy, right, is showing up to clarify this Queen of Pentacles. But I'm seeing this as this is showing up in your present moment. So you may have not yet moved into this space of community, this space of wanting to share your depth with other people. You may, have not yet, again, have not yet moved into that type of energy, because I feel like this whole King of Cups energy with being deep and emotional and, you know, moving from that space of love consciousness is, I feel like it may feel new to you, and not new in the sense of you just kind of been an asshole your whole life, but new in the sense of like, it's almost like there's still fear, they're kind of lingering behind, like a little bit behind the surface. There's still a little bit of fear there about really opening up to other people, because I feel like in the past, that may not have worked out so well for you. But there's this feeling of taking the time to get to know yourself and sit with that King of Cups energy, getting deep with yourself. There's this, it's like moving into a space of being comfortable, expressing that same depth to other people, being in community with others and sharing yourself with other people. It's like the lizard, it says here, when out of balance, is elusive, non-committal, and flaky, right? And the Queen of Pentacles is the opposite. She's, not flaky, is very generous and down to earth and kind and nurturing and, so, and abundant. So why be non-committal and flaky? It doesn't make sense, right? They're contradicting energies. So, I get the feeling of there being some of those blocks there still that are trying to kind of, it's almost it's like, okay, this happened in the past, so I don't want to just dive in and open up, right? Does that make sense? And so, pulling back from that stimulation and the bright lights and the big crowds and, all that stuff, and taking that time. Not that I don't feel like necessarily maybe need to pull back. That's not really how the energy is coming through. It's more along the lines of not jumping into that right away, like not jumping into community right away, needing that time to really get to know self and sit with self before, giving all of that away. But I feel like you'll get there. And when when that switches, if it hasn't for you already, right? Because this is present, so this is the month of October that we're talking about here. I feel like once we're able to kind of tune more into self and then get more comfortable with that and put these blocks down and allow ourselves to sit with self, I think it's like I'm seeing like switches being flipped up, like, okay, this is making sense, like, holy shit, right? So I feel, for the present, for October, right, through the rest of this month, if it hasn't happened already, I feel like there's that need to kind of let the guard down, to kind of let people get close, but, not to do that too quickly and not to rush into it, not to, hurry up and just give away everything. Or you may have kind of been in that energy of hermiting before, recently, having went through this experience, this transformation, right? You may have kind of been withdrawn and pulled back before and are now stepping into, a more community based type of energy where you want to share your gifts, right? You may be more moving into that energy. And the reason why this is coming through for me, we do have the star, okay, which does talk about wishes being granted. or, you know, expectations fulfilled, that type of thing, renewed hope. Um, but it's also, you know, knowing that you're on the right path, things like this, and, you know, expecting miracles in a sense. So let's see why it's here. Let's talk about the fish so we can, you know, get some more clarity. But I feel like once you're able to do that, moving forward, you know, what is the potential future outcome? Well, wishes fucking granted, miracles, right? And I feel like that's because these energies, you're bringing this into balance, right? You're getting into balance with that emotional side of yourself, getting into balance with the community side of self, right? That need to express self, that need to share with others, um you know, to share that abundance and to be in communion in a sense with, you know, your tribe. So the fish energy here talks about restlessness, change of focus, and loss, being lost in the current. It says the fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. I just had deja vu reading that last sentence. Um, okay. Fish, the roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. Okay. So the fish talks about, when it's out of balance, being distracted and changing its mind often. You may feel like you're, you know, because this is the potential future outcome. So think of, you know, November and moving on through the, you know, October, obviously, depending on where you're at, and then moving through the remainder of the year and into 2021. You know, we do have like these wishes granted, potentially expecting miracles, that type of thing. But there's the fish is telling us why it's here, which is, I mean, it doesn't really make sense until you look at it as more of a, how do I word this, please? I see the fish here. It's like it's being distracted and changing your mind a lot, but I feel like that is fear based, right? I feel like there's a lot that you've been learning about self and coming to terms with and understanding about self, right? But I also feel like there's fear there. There's I don't know why it keeps coming through as fear. I keep getting that so strongly. It's like the fear of sharing self, the fear of, being this person, the fear of being vulnerable with really, really, truly vulnerable with others. Um, and the reason, you know, the star card again is that miracles, but it can also be that like knowing you're on the right path and healing after, you know, tragic events or renewed hope. So, you know, with the karma showing up underneath the King of Cups, and then this lizard that talks about being restless and like, you know, needing to change your focus, or not, the lizard doesn't talk about being restless. My gosh. the 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 lizard here, you know, with the Queen of Pentacles and contradicting that Queen of Pentacles even, and needing, you know, to figure it out. Give me just a second, you guys. I want to go back to that lizard card. Okay, yeah. Oh yes, so the lizard, right, talking about being elusive and flaky, and then the fish talking about changing focus. You know, I feel like the focus needs to be on ourselves and sharing ourselves with the world, our vulnerable self. I think that's how we bring this karma back into balance and restore that hope and faith. That's the right path. That's the path that we're supposed to be on. Get focused on who we really are and balancing who we really are, right? Between self and those outside of self within our tribe. I feel like there's a very delicate balance there for you, Aquarius, for some reason. And there's, it's being shown to me too with those scales there. It's like that delicate balance that needs to be discovered, right? That there needs to be that focus there so the balance can be maintained, is how I'm seeing that. But there's the opportunity to heal and move forward here, right? If you can find yourself focusing more on focusing on that vulnerability. There's also a little indication here of, give me 1 second again. I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of bouncing back and forth. This might be what your energy feels like, because it isn't normally like me to go to jump so much during a reading. The lizard, I feel like you could have been in that lizard energy, right? Like kind of hermiting. And that could have been when you were going through this transformation and really diving deep within self. You could have hermited and have now moved more into a space of sharing, getting more, um, getting more time, or spending, allowing more time, like being in crowds, or being in more stimulating environments where you can share that nurturing, healing, loving, abundant energy with others, right? So there's kind of two stories that are going on right now, and if that is the case, I feel like if you've already moved out of this energy of kind of, keeping to self, um, because of, recognizing your own gifts and really getting to know yourself, if you've kind of, pulled back and then now stepped out of that, I feel like there's a need to focus on your path and your journey and continuing to share that with other people. Because you do have here the oyster, and I don't, this card, I'm not going to read it from the book, but the card talks about treasures hidden within. So, what's beneath the surface here, what's hiding? I feel like, Aquarius, you have treasures for the world, for humanity, for your tribe, for, whoever it is that you're meant to come in contact with in your life. You have treasures within you, like this King of Cups, with love and kindness and, nurturing and those sorts of things. And then also with the Queen of Pentacles being, generous, and also, being very caring about others, right? And wanting to share with, abundance and things with others. I feel like, uh, there are gifts that you have that are meant to be shared here. Yeah, I feel like you have a lot to offer. And so focusing more on what it is that you possess, that self, that realization of who you are, renewing that hope within self, in regards to self and what you have to offer, your value. I feel like that's where this is leading to, obviously, should you choose that path. Only you know what your story is. I don't know what choices you have to make in order to, move into a space of renewed hope and healing. I don't know what that means for you. Only you do. But the Justice card is here too, and it talks about balance and karma and truth again. So, I feel like expressing your truth is what brings everything back into balance, if it is out of balance, because I feel like these energies are quite contradictory to the other energies. I mean, the fish isn't necessarily contradictory to the star. I mean, and there is a moon here. We're talking about night. Um, and I feel like that might be your dark night of the soul. I don't know why I'm really never talked about that much in a reading. Um, but that might be your dark night of the soul, Aquarius. That might be uh, that hope that you need is to be able to focus on yourself, to be able to focus on um, the come on, what is it? To focus on goals that will help to heal you, help to move you forward, help to balance that karma, help to express those gifts. I feel like there's a lot there about needing to come into balance with that. So, there's again a lot here about balance, a lot here about karma. I feel like you're working out some things karmically, ending some cycles even. And I feel like a lot of it is about really self-discovery. I mean, each of these cards even has one single creature in them. So this is very much focused on you, Aquarius, and um, your internal, what's going on internally, right? So I know this is kind of it's been a little bit of an interesting reading in the sense it's been a challenge because of the contradictory energies, and I feel like your energy is very contradictory too, in the sense that there's part of you, I feel, Aquarius, energetically, that wants to, you know, step more into this, wants to open up, wants to express love, wants to be generous and caring and show all of these beautiful things about you. But I feel like there are also things that you're still healing and working through that need your focus to really bring that balance back in. And I could be wrong, right? Um, Take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. I'm not here to tell you your story, only you know that. I'm just the messenger. I just read the cards as the energy comes through to me. So, really, Aquarius, I feel like moving through the month of October and onward, through up to 2021, I feel like there's some internal work here to be done. And, I feel like it has a lot to do with taking what lies within and bringing that outward and expressing it outward. I feel like that will help you karmically, because I feel somewhere along the lines, Aquarius, you've been fairly blocked. I feel like people may have been giving to you and opening up to you and sharing with you and connecting with you and being vulnerable with you. And you may have denied that, and what I mean by that is maybe not denied that. You could have, you could have definitely pushed people away. But I feel like denying it in the sense of, that's all fine and dandy. You can go ahead and open your heart to me, but I'm only going to give you bits and pieces, right? I'm only going to share with you what I feel comfortable sharing. And really, Aquarius, I feel like it was probably breadcrumbs. Okay. What you felt comfortable sharing probably wasn't incredibly deep. And so, I feel like now it's like, okay, now you have to get here for yourself, right? In order for you to move forward, this is what you have to do. You have to work through that fear. You have to transform that karma, right? And be vulnerable and expressive for yourself, because that's something that needs to be healed. I don't know. It's a really interesting energy, Aquarius. But I hope that it's been helpful for you in some kind of way, or, maybe it's provided you with a new perspective about some things that took place, at least, in the recent past, or maybe things that are coming up for you presently. But either way, I hope you have a beautiful October. Take care of your beautiful soul, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.